All right, welcome everyone. Cesar Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, and we're here at the Louisville show. No, it's not ESPN Game Day live. It's Manufactured Homes done better, right?
Yeah.
So we're bringing you some interviews. We got some great people within the industry. I'm joined by Brian Hurd with Cardinal Financial, Tate Oliver from Cardinal Financial, and Mr. Thomas Dixon right here from Dynamic Home Repair. And we want to start bringing more information to you on people that are doing it right within the industry. And we just had a great interview with James Burkett, right? What they're doing out in California. And now we've got Mr. Dixon right here, who's going to come talk to us, not just about the 90s Cowboys, but also.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Sounds like about Cowboys at all.
We're going to be talking about what it is that we can do within the industry, what Dynamic Home Repair is doing within the industry to turn things around, to make things better for the buyers, to make things better for the industry, and overall just provide that customer experience. So, Thomas, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Dynamic is all about, how you got started, what's going on there?
Yeah, we came in from the lifetime warranty space. We came in to offer a lifetime warranty to manufactured housing, and it kind of developed. Our dealer started asking us, "Hey, man, can you do service for us and take over the service departments?" And I was like, "Maybe we can try this." And we had a pretty robust service team already. And so what we did was we said, "Okay." And so next thing you know, we started taking on service, for our dealers. And we would do trim outs and skirting, and we would do HVACs. So we call it set it and forget it, right? So the dealer, all he has to do is sell a house. Get the pad ready, get it water hooked up, get electric hooked up, and sewer. And next thing you know, we go in and take over the rest. We do the punch list for the customer and everything else. And it really takes that burden off the dealer to not only have to sell houses, but he can now sell the home, and the customer's getting taken care of on the backside by somebody else that's unbiased, right? We're just trying to make sure the customer's happy. And it worked out pretty good. Next thing you know, we're in 40 states, and we're doing this for a lot of dealers, and we've taken over a couple manufacturers, and
wow,
here we are.
There you go. That's fantastic. And so, with all of that being said, ultimately, we were talking just a little bit ago, a few minutes before we got on here. You brought up the buyer experience. Why is that even important to you? You're just trimming it out.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. The last touch that customer sees is his finished product, right?
Right.
And customers, we were talking about earlier, customers don't care what we tell them. They remember how we made them feel.
Right.
And if we make them feel important this is probably the biggest purchase they've ever made. And if we do a really good job and treat them like they're our family, and trim the house out and make sure everything's right and working order, and it's a brand new home, and give them that experience, that aha experience, right? Hey, yeah, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their family, and
It's a free sales force.
It's a free salesperson, right? And if we're going to change the perception of an industry, which that's my company's goal, right? That's our goal.
Me right now.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I think we're all common in that.
We're the common denominator, right? And so it's our goal to change the dynamic of this industry, right? We want us to give a product that is finished that customers love. Not, the biggest problem we see is you got the manufacturer here, you got the dealer here, you got the setup crew here, and nobody wants to take blame. It's their fault.
Well, the finger pointing starts.
Yeah, it starts, and we're in the middle of it. Yeah. So my job is, hey, I'm the head football coach.
Right.
I'm on the field. I'm going, okay, you can all place blame right now, but we're going to get it fixed. We're going to take care of the customer, and it's my job to fight it on the other side, right? And the customer don't know what's going on. They don't need it.
Yeah.
It's my job to make sure everything's running smooth. They don't see behind the curtain at the eyes, right? The eyes are doing all this over here.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
They should never know what's going on.
Exactly.
They should know when mom and daddy's fighting, right? The kids shouldn't know when mom and daddy's fighting.
Well, you had said something. I think that experience, though, starts the day they walk in on that dealership.
Correct. Yeah.
The whole facet of buying a home, that experience starts the day they talk to that loan officer, asking about getting pre-approved.
Yeah, all of
The day that loan officer introduces them to that salesperson or that realtor, that's where that experience starts. And I think in this industry now, why the people don't buy a lot of homes, or there's such a lot of people that haven't bought homes, is because they've had such a bad experience.
That's correct. Yeah. You know, it starts with a handshake, right? Yeah. So when I used to train salespeople, I was like, hey, look, it all starts with a handshake. Yeah. Right? It starts right here. Like, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I'm so-and-so. Welcome to so-and-so. How can I help you? Have you been here before? You know, those questions that we ask that you train, I'm sure, right? All those things is for a smooth buying experience for our customers. And if we can't give them a stress-free, seamless buying experience, we're doing them a disservice, and we are hampering our industry. We are tethering it down.
I agree with you. However, let's face it. I mean, I don't care if you're building the exact same home 1,000 times. There's always going to be something that comes up, excuse me, each and every time.
Correct.
There's always going to be stressors. I guess what I don't understand is that we talk about the experience, and I don't care if it was flawless throughout the entire process. If at the very end, somebody spoke to them wrong, somebody didn't take care of an issue, regardless of who caused it, that's the last thing they heard, as you already mentioned. That's what their perception is going to be. That's systemic in manufactured. It's systemic in site-built. If it's so important, why is nobody really doing a great job at putting attention to it?
I think they're scared of it, right? You see salespeople all the time. In the auto industry, we do all the time, right? They would dodge a customer, right? They had a bad experience, they'll dodge the customer.
It's the worst thing you should do.
Yeah, and I train totally opposite. Look, a mad customer is an opportunity for me to be a hero.
100%.
Right,
every time. And I'm an old athlete, right? I like to get in the end zone. I really like to show off. Right?
I can tell
that's the kind of guy you got, right? Yeah, I'm that guy, right? I'm a big personality. And so, you know, when you get a mad customer, go address the issue. Hit it right between the eyes. Customers get mad when they don't know.
Right.
Or you don't answer.
And you don't answer. Yeah. Why don't you hit it between, you even know? If you even tell them, no, we can't help you with this, at least you gave them something.
Right.
Versus, hey, look, I haven't heard back. Why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we putting that customer thugh the stress and yourself?
Right.
Well,
Because it gets worse later.
Oh yeah, it's just compounding the problem. Why are we letting these issues compound?
Well, sometimes I think that how you handle an issue or a build that's gone wrong is far more indicative of your character and quality than had it gone perfectly in the first place.
We tell every customer that comes to for us. By the way, we don't have customers. We tell everybody, look, if you're our customer, you're really our partner. Because we have partners, we don't have customers. Your customer's my customer. My job is to make you look good, right? I'm always the fall guy. I'm okay with being the fall guy. So that's kind of how it works. And so at the end of the day, you know, we're trying to get in front of all the problems. We're trying to make sure they look good, and you know, address the issues, guys. Yeah. Just address the issues.
And I'll tell you from personal experience, because I've worked in a retail lot for 14 years, right? And whether it was as a sales consultant or even as a general manager, it's not uncommon. What Thomas just mentioned, that well, the retailer is going to try and put it on somebody else, and the set crew is going to try and put it on the factory, and the factory is going to try and say that no, it was set wrong, and nobody just wants to fix it. And that'd be some of the things where I would get on a phone call, and it's like, I don't care I'll pay for it if I need to. It just needs to get fixed. We need to take care of the customer and move forward. But they just, you know, thank God there's a company like Dynamic that's now taking that over and doing that.
What, you said you've been around 5 years now?
5 years.
In 40 states in 5 years? I mean, there's obviously a need.
There's a need.
That's
there's
a great meteoric growth there.
There's some need. You know, the dealers, they're really, some of them are slow to give us that business because they don't want to take their hands out of it, right? But what they found is that when they do, they're going, man, I should have done this 10 years ago. I wish this company had been around 10 years ago to do this, because we don't have the headaches anymore. We don't have
customer sat ratings skyrocket.
For sure. We even go to the point when we work on a customer's house that we send them a handwritten thank you letter.
And say, common these days.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to work on your home. If there's anything you need in the near future, give me a shout. We really believe in employee retention. Our turnover rate is 0.
Wow. That's awesome.
With your employees?
0. Wow. I have 0 turnover. And so my CSRs that deal with Bob's housing, The same CSR has dealt with Bob's Housing since Bob's Housing's inception.
Got it.
So there's one person they call. So we've got to figure it out. I can handle about 40 customers per CSR. I don't want to get higher than that number because then I lose customer service, right? I can't answer that customer the way I should. So 40 is the number and we're done. And so we just keep going.
Yeah.
So then obviously there's a need.
Yep.
You're going to have to keep scaling your business to fill that void
That's
out
right.
there in the system.
So we scale it as so I'm like the show already. We've already signed 1 factory and 4 new dealerships this morning. So I know how much I have to. I've already got people hiring right now that I can handle that with.
So, Tay mentioned that process starting from that first handshake. You talked about a seamless process throughout. I think a huge part of that is all of us, the lender, the salesperson, the manufacturer, you. How do we all integrate to help promote a more seamless from the moment you walk into that dealership until beyond?
Well, one thing for the financing side, and I'm a finance guy by heart. I mean, that's in the auto industry, that's my forte. Customers really are scared that are they approved or not approved, right? That's one of the biggest fears of customers. That's the biggest fear of a customer coming on your lot. Yeah. Can I get approved, right? Dealers and banks need to do a better job of online web applications and getting pre-qualified where the customer's not having to be at your lot. Correct. Because if you pre-qualify them, then they're more confident, more comfortable coming in and saying, okay, I can afford this much house. I've already been approved by online.
Just like you would with an auto dealer.
Just like you would with an auto dealer, because what we found is we can do that. We get our spectrum is so much bigger, right? We go from a 550 credit score to a 850. It doesn't matter. But you won't get that range unless we get to the point where there's more seamless process on an online transaction. Customers nowadays, let's put it this way, when we used to recruit salespeople, right? You know where I would recruit salespeople? The same places every time. I'd go to the bar.
You go to work?
The bar.
Okay, that's one way to do it.
Okay, I go to the bar. Okay. I'm just telling the truth. In my early 30s, late 20s, I go to the bar and I go find a guy that could talk.
You go there to be social, so that makes perfect sense.
I want the social skills, right? I want the bartenders.
Those high personalities.
That's right. I want the type A that can talk, right? So I would recruit from there that those people could do. Nowadays, you don't recruit from there because customers don't want to be. You have to ask a customer how they want to be communicated with. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you train this, right?
Yes.
Nobody wants to be sold.
I haven't seen it, but I'm sure you do. So nobody wants to be sold anymore. I'm kind of becoming a dying breed a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're like, okay, how do you want to be communicated with? Okay, let me text. Okay, so it changes the landscape, right?
Right.
The whole landscape's changing, and we have to evolve to that.
But don't you think that clients, customers, partners, I love that's what you call them, they shop digital. They may want to fill out that application online, but they still want
human transaction.
That's exactly
They
want to be able to talk to
the
lender, to the sales consultant, to the warranty company.
Yes. How many times do you get mad when you call in somewhere and you get press this for this
video
and then it's AI, and I'm talking and I'm Southern dialect, if you can't tell. Right?
How does that translate with AI?
They don't even understand. They don't even know what I'm talking about, right? And so it really drives a guy like me crazy.
You say customer service rep or something.
Yeah. Can I speak to a person? Yes. Then I get on some phone with somebody in India. No offense to anybody in India, but I get on the phone. I'm like, look, dude, you got to get somebody in the United States who can understand my Southern dialect, because we definitely have a communication breakdown somewhere in this whole deal. We don't want that, right? But we do want. We want the online to get us down the road, but we want to finish with the customer.
Correct. Mm-hmm. That's what they're left with.
Think about what we end with. Yeah. What does my company end with? We end with a handwritten note.
That is that personal touch.
A handwritten note. Man, that is like, so 1792, right?
And hopefully that never changes.
That's way back. Yeah. But we gotta give that personal touch. If we don't have that personal touch, you don't give them that experience and how we made them feel. Coaches always tell you this: even if you're doing it wrong, do it at full speed.
Yeah.
Customers can see that you're working for them. Correct. I used to train finance managers all the time to do this. Even if you know you can't get the deal approved, don't tell the salesman you can't get it approved. You better be acting like you can and
Exhaust
busting your
every
butt.
option.
I want to see you kill yourself to get this deal approved.
Right.
And your customers in this industry want to see you doing everything you can to make their dreams come true.
And communicate in a
deserve
timely manner and all that. Yeah.
They deserve it.
Well, and I
without
think in
getting
this,
thrown in the middle.
Exactly.
Without getting thrown in the middle of it.
right. In this industry, the customer needs way more education. You know,
Yes.
it's one of those things that how home financing on the manufactured level, it has always been one way for so long.
Yes.
It's always been chattel lending only. So when we're talking to folks now, you can actually own your 5 acres. You can put that dream home on that 5
Generational
acres.
wealth creation.
And now you have a land home
Transaction.
transaction.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So it's been spoke. Me and you've talked to the industry leaders, and they're all looking to get better financing options, right, for manufactured housing. How can we get, cheaper rates? How can we get all of these things? 30-year fixed at real low rates. All this. And I tell them the same thing. How do you expect to get all of those things when you're not giving the customer the same end result that you're giving that customer?
Right.
How do you expect that?
Right.
All right, in the auto industry, I always relate to it because it's the same. If you have a buy here, pay here car, and it breaks down, and they don't fix it, they never pay for it. If you sell them a really nice car that's a buy here, and this is a person that's not got good credit, it's not good at all. But if you sell them a very nice car and they buy here, pay here that car, you know what the odds of them paying for that car go up? Like 80%.
Right.
Because they have pride in that car.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's give the bank, let's give the big dog lending institutions, and I know you guys are. I'm talking about the money that comes down from everywhere else, right?
Right.
Let's give them a reason to say, oh yeah, we're going to give standard financing on this. Why would we not?
Right. Right.
Well, that's why it's
cheaper.
really important to get that support and that duty to serve from Fannie and Freddie, and of course, HUD and Tay likes to bring up VA financing on manufactured homes, and every single time he brings it up, it's like, wait, what? We can't do that. We don't know how to do that.
This is
that's
the
a shame.
future of housing,
This
guys.
is it.
This
Of
is
course
it. We got less contractors, we got less plumbers, we got less electricians, we got less of all the above. It
Better
takes-
QC, quicker times.
we cannot produce houses fast enough in this country.
Right.
So this is the answer.
Yeah.
This is the only answer. This is the only affordable housing there is in this country.
That's
Trust
why
me.
we're
I
all
don't
sitting
wanna-
there. Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
And you look up and you go, how do we make it better? This is how we make it better.
Absolutely.
So when we put that all in one package, I think what I'm hearing is we can all agree it's not that hard, but it's difficult. It's because it starts up here. It's the perception. What do you want to put out there? How important is it to you as a retailer or a community, a house consultant, general manager, to actually just do right? I think this industry has been so conditioned to just do enough.
They do the things they've always done,
Yeah.
the same way they've always done.
And now we've got to go above and beyond, not because we have to, but because we should.
Well, to destigmatize it, you
That's right.
really do have to.
We all do the same thing, guys. At the end of the day, we get really good at the things we focus on.
Yep.
We get really good at the things we focus on. Dealers are never going to focus on service.
Sure.
Because unlike a car dealership where that makes me money.
Yeah.
This doesn't make them money.
Yeah.
So they're
Well,
across the
short
board.
term,
Short term.
long term,
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's not making them money right now.
right up front. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they're not going to focus on it
Costing
because
them.
it's right, unless they change their mentality.
Yes.
Right.
There are dealers out there right now. I just spoke to Ray Gritton. Ray's a friend of mine.
We're gonna have Ray here. Shortly.
Ray's going to talk to you shortly. So Ray's going to tell you some things he's done. It's me and we're all on the same wavelength. He does a really good job, and he knows that what he does in service affects his next sale and his next sale and his next sale.
Right.
And if we don't understand that, if we can't get our head wrapped around that, you won't be here long.
Well, you mentioned that, we all focus on what, we spend our time focusing on the thing that we do directly, and that's important. That's how we get paid. But look, I'm learning a lot just from this conversation. I love the idea of creating these coalitions, like we talked about with James previously, and these strategic alliances with like-minded companies, like-minded individuals, That way you bring the message. We've got dealers and manufacturers and even site builders that can really take advantage of what you're talking about. Just like with Cesar, what he's teaching. And I think the more that we can collectively share, the more we get that message out widespread to as much of the industry as we possibly can.
Yeah, it definitely forms synergy.
I mean, it does. I mean, just because, yes, we do loans, that's how we get paid. You do the service contracts, that's how you get paid. Cesar teaches salespeople, but by working together, bringing messages like this to the masses, it helps everybody. And I'd love to see more of that. There's enough business to go around. I'd love to see a lot more collaboration.
That's exactly where we're headed at. We'll let you give some last insight here. What do you think outside of what you do? Because I know what you're doing is kicking ass with what you got going on. But what do you see a independent retailer could do that would really take their business to another level?
We're in a lot of dealerships, and the most successful stores that I see that I know that are very profitable and that they do a very good job, their dealerships and their lots are staged very nice. They invest the money on their lots. They invest the money in making that the home,
talking
the
about earlier,
community, the neighborhood. Ray does a great job of this.
Yes.
He makes it look homey.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He gives it that feel. It don't look cheap. Right?
Not like it's just sitting on cinder blocks in a parking lot, like we've been talking about. Yeah.
Yes. We don't. That's that. If you want to increase your sales very fast, that's number one. And number two, make sure you have an online presence.
Yeah.
Heard that a few times today too.
The internet minute will blow your mind. And we need to do a better job of moving to the next phase of this industry.
There you go.
I love it.
I love it, man. Well,
Yeah,
there
this
you
is some
have
great
it, folks.
insights.
Thomas Dixon, Dynamic Home Repair. You retailer out there anywhere, you guys do community stuff also?
We do.
Just retail.
We do.
So you want to get service handled the right way, reach out to Dynamic Home Repair. They will be sure to take care of you guys. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate you, man.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good conversation. We'll be talking
Nice
again soon.
meeting you guys. Nice meeting you guys.
You guys take care. See.